Talk about vengeance. Is vengeance gonna bring your son back to you?
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the most ruthless gangsters featured in movies. Just so we're clear, they have to be fictional. So don't go looking for Henry Hill from Goodfellas or any of his fellow real-life wise guys. Also, beware of spoilers.
Say hello to my little friend! You wanna play rough? Okay.
Number 10, Don Logan, Sexy Beast.
Are you gonna do the job? It's not a difficult question. Yes or no?
Donna.
Say it.
No.
Yes.
Sir Ben Kingsley is probably not the first actor one might think of as a gangster, but as Don Logan, he's unforgettable. Don approaches his old friend Gal, who's retired in Spain for one last job. However, even though Gal desires to enjoy his retirement, Don insists. Profane and completely self-absorbed, Don Logan is one of the most overbearing movie characters in cinema.
I'm happy.
I won't let you be happy. What should I?
His inability to let go of what he wants is profoundly childish, yet his intense, menacing pursuit of his goals is also terrifying. Bottom line, Don is the embodiment of the phrase, with friends like these, who needs enemies?
No, Don.
Friday.
I won't be there.
You will.
No, Don.
Yes, 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 yes.
Number 9, Michael Sullivan, Road to Perdition.
You saw everything? Jesus. You are not to speak of this to anyone.
Tom Hanks makes for another unlikely gangster, but he hits this role out of the park, just like his other performances. Playing Michael Sullivan Sr., a mob enforcer for a Chicago gang, Hanks' character is raised like a son by the gang's leader, John Rooney. However, things turn sour when Rooney's biological son, Connor, orchestrates the murder of nearly all of Sullivan's family. Forced to go on the run with his own son, Michael Sullivan Jr., the protagonist seeks revenge for his family's deaths, while also struggling to secure a better life for his son.
Tomorrow when they find out we're gone, they're gonna come after us. I have to protect you now.
Please, Pa.
Hanks delivers a fantastic portrayal of Sullivan, one of brutal violence mixed with fatherly instinct. Good or bad, he's still a dad.
You never wanted me along anyway. You think it's my fault this happened?
Stop it, Michael. It was not your fault!
Number 8, Vic Vega, aka Mr. Blonde, Reservoir Dogs.
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?
Each member of the gang this film focuses on is memorable in their own ways, but some personalities are bigger than others. In every crew, there is a loose cannon, and in this one, it's Mr. Blonde, real name Vic Vega, or Toothpick Vic. Mr. Blonde is the man responsible for his gang's diamond heist turning into a bloodbath.
That's your excuse for going on a kill-crazy rampage.
I don't like alarms, Mr. White.
A smooth-talking psychopath, Mr. Blonde can be charming, with his dry humor and amusing turns of phrase. However, his infamous torture of a cop the crew has captured while dancing to Stuck in the Middle with You illustrates that beneath the exterior lies a profoundly disturbed individual.
I got something I think you might want to see, though. It's a big surprise. I'm sure you'll like it. Come on.
Number 7, Lil Z, aka Lil Dice, City of God.
Qual é, Dadinho? Dadinho é o caralho, meu nome agora é Zé Pequeno, pô.
Easily the youngest entry on our list, Lil Z is the young kingpin of the City of God, a neighborhood of Rio de Janeiro. A violent sociopath, Lil Z, known as Lil Dice as a child, has risen to the top of his local underworld by being willing and eager to kill. His glee for murder makes nearly every scene he is in full of tension, since anyone could die if he decides to indulge in his favorite pastime.
A gente mata esses otários, cala a boca dele. Então a gente começa quando? Agora.
The loss of his best friend Benny removes what little restraint Zay previously had, prompting him to engage in a lengthy gang war. Ultimately, as is the case with many gangsters, the many enemies Zay makes eventually catch up with him.
Que nunca mais vai me encher o saco. Mas é a polícia.
Number 6, Kaiser Soze, The Usual Suspects.
Who was Kaiser Soze?
He's supposed to be Turkish. Some say his father was German. Nobody ever believed he was real. Nobody ever knew him or saw anybody that ever worked directly for him.
Some serious spoilers ahead on this one. Even criminals have a boogeyman. Before John Wick, the name that made them reconsider their life choices was Kaiser Soze. After the criminal with disability named Verbal Kint is caught, he recounts how he and several of his fellow gangsters were enlisted by the shadowy crime boss Kaiser Soze for a job gone awry. Soze never shows his face, and few who work for him even know it's him they're working for.
He becomes a myth, a spook story that criminals tell their kids at night. Rat on your pop, and Kaiser Soze will get you.
By the film's end, it's clear that Kint's story is partially fabricated, with details drawn from his surroundings. Not only that, Kint is Kaiser Soze. Machiavellian and half myth, Kaiser Soze is a master criminal and a legendary gangster. And like that,
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. And like that, he's gone.
Number 5. Frank Costello, The Departed.
When I was your age, they would say we could become cops or criminals. Today, what I'm saying is this. When you're facing a loaded gun, what's the difference?
A Boston mob boss of Irish descent, Frank Costello rules his city's criminal underworld with brutality and brains. He has informants within the police force and personally tips off the FBI about his rivals, allowing him to remain one step ahead of both his competition and the cops. When Billy Costigan joins his organization, Frank suspects him of being a rat, but also comes to see himself in the young man. Throughout the film, Frank's demeanor veers from being violent one minute to laugh out loud hilarious the next.
You know, past a situation like this, I kill everybody. Everybody that works for me.
And given that it's Jack Nicholson playing him, he just oozes charisma every time he's on screen. He may appear careless, but this is one meticulous and crafty gangster.
The only one who could do what I do is me. All them people had to die for me to be me.
Number 4. Jules Winfield, Pulp Fiction.
What does Marcellus Wallace look like? What? What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of?
Quentin Tarantino movies are loaded with colorful criminals and ne'er-do-wells. While Big Boss Marcellus Wallace is more of a mobster archetype, his enforcer/hitman Jules Winfield is one bad mother. Effortlessly cool in basically everything he does, Jules is among the most quotable gangsters out there. The apartment scene alone is downright legendary.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers.
Many of his expressions and jokes have become the sources for countless memes. However, a near-death experience causes Jules to re-examine his line of work. He may quote the Bible often, but it's only after witnessing this miraculous event that Jules is inspired to be the shepherd rather than the tyranny of evil men. We'd be down to watch him walk the earth forever.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Number 3. Michael Corleone, The Godfather franchise.
Don't tell me you're innocent. Because it insults my intelligence. It makes me very angry.
A quintessential embodiment of the rise and fall of a gangster, Michael Corleone is someone you don't want to mess with. Initially, Michael wants nothing to do with the family business of organized crime. However, the murder of his first wife and the needs of the family force him to step up and take charge, becoming the new Godfather.
There are things being negotiated now that are going to solve all your problems and answer all your questions. That's all I can tell you now.
However, as he navigates the leadership of his crime syndicate, he gradually loses his way, alienating or executing members of his real family. Michael Corleone could easily take the top spot. He's one of the most iconic gangster characters ever, and Al Pacino's performance is unforgettable. Even so, there are some fictional gangsters who are equally, or even more, legendary.
If anything in this life is certain, if history's taught us anything, it says you can kill anyone.
Number 2, Tony Montana, Scarface.
Calling me a liar. Right. That what you calling me?
Al Pacino has played a lot of great gangster characters. Among them is Carlito Brigante from Carlito's Way, which was even made by the same director as Scarface. Yet few of Pacino's roles, or indeed few other gangsters in any medium, are as electrifying as Tony Montana. A Cuban immigrant, Tony works his way up through the criminal underworld from its lowest gunman to become a drug kingpin of Miami.
Do you know what a hasha is, Frank? That's a pig that don't fly straight. Neither do you, Frank.
Pacino's captivating, unhinged performance is endlessly watchable. He brings to life a character whose journey is a twisted tale of the American dream, a rags-to-riches story of blood and drugs. If there's a poster child for the excess and danger of the gangster life, it's Tony.
Brother, do you want to go to war? Come on. Do you want to go to war? We'll take you to war, okay?
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Tom Reagan, Miller's Crossing. He's a smooth customer who always looks out for himself.
Giving up Bernie was the only way I could see to straighten things out for Leo.
I thought you said you didn't care about Leo.
I said we were through. It's not the same thing.
Nino Brown, New Jack City. A cash money gangster who knows how to make change.
If I was what? Say it again. What'd you say?
Nothing.
That's what I thought you said. Because that's what I got right now, nothing.
Vincenzo Caccati, True Romance. A one-scene wonder, but oh so memorable.
Who are you?
The Antichrist. You got me in a vendetta kind of mood. You tell the angels in heaven you never seen evil so singularly personified as you did in the face of the man who killed you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Vito Corleone, The Godfather franchise.
Now you come to me and you say, Don Corleone, give me justice. But you don't ask with respect. You don't offer friendship.
The face of mobsters everywhere, Vito Corleone is the original Godfather. Vito comes to America after fleeing Italy following the death of his parents at the hands of a local gangster. In the States, he works his way up to become a respected figure in New York, eventually assuming the role of the Godfather. His old-school gangster ways prioritize the welfare of his neighborhood and friends rather than violence meant for profit.
Let me say that I swear on the souls of my grandchildren that I will not be the one to break the peace we've made here today.
Whether he's played by Marlon Brando or Robert De Niro, Don Vito is the OG to end all original gangsters. And for anyone who thinks otherwise, well, Don Vito has a proposal.
From now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Is there a movie gangster you're whacking your foreheads that we forgot? Bark all day at us in the comments, little doggies. Just don't bite.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.